well, it's like the external limits of the functioning of the system. Like I would compare that those external constraints provided by the neural level of explanation, like a kind of switches, interruptores, switches, switch on, switch off. Like, well, and it's interesting and important. The first thing that you hear when your computer doesn't work properly is, well, have you put in the plug in the so it's important to have the system switch on to work properly. But I don't know if these constraints, so they can provide certain external constraints. For example, of course, a big constraint is that even if it's 100,000 million neurons in the brain, well,
they are finite.
Yeah, it's a finite system. It's a finite system. So there are plenty, but it's finite. You cannot design a system that you find performances or achievements that shows certain kind of infinity, for example, in our language productivity or thought productivity. At least you cannot explain that assuming that we have infinite amount of means. You have to try to develop a model by which you need a finite mean system with certain properties that allow that system to achieve an infinite output or infinite productivity. For example, recursion. Our arithmetical counting capacity is infinite. It's infinite. But we know that we don't have infinite number of neurons. So we need a finite number of means with certain properties to explain how we can count infinity. I don't know. I think that, of course, it's important to know the constraints that the neurological system puts with respect to the computational and cognitive capacities and performances, but, well, that's an open question. To what extent, for example, I don't know, we know the rate of firing our neurons, but how that constrains, well, they can overlap and they can sum up and they can do many things in interaction. I don't know that it's not going to be any progress, but it's going to be slower than it seems. And that the main results of this neuroscientific movement are not really progress in knowing how these things work. I don't know. You are right. We have to take account of that. But psychology has been very... For example, look at any other discipline, not neuropsychology, look at neuroeconomics. You are really sure that neurological advances or neuroscientific advances are going to make any progress in understanding the economical interactions that humans have developed? And it's going to be of any use for economic science? There is a big, there are even, I think there is a journal called Neuroeconomics, and I think there is another neuroeconomic. I don't know, there are things that are farther away, that psychology is really close to neuroscience, but and I suppose that the interactions would be productive in many instances. I'm not sure.
Okay, I think it's a bit too late. If there's no any very urgent question or something like that, we should stop here maybe. So thank you very much for coming here.